Talk Nerdy is brought to you by its sponsor AT&T, which provides IU students, faculty, and staff with personal cellular services at discounted rates. Talk Nerdy to Me, a conversation about technology's hottest topics at Indiana University and beyond. Welcome, my friends, to episode 12 of Talk Nerdy to Me, a conversation about technology at IU and beyond. I'm your host, Janae Cummings, and with me, as always, is the bat manual to my tick, Brendan Howell. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
You like that one this time?
I don't even know what that means.
You don't know about the tick?
No.
Oh, we're going to have education later. That's okay. That's okay. It's fine. We're also welcoming Joe Stone to the recording, who is not only our man of many sounds, who also happens to have a virility hedge that makes Walt Whitman weep, but he also has a magnificent fount of opinions. Don't you, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. I hope your commentary can become a consistent thing. But the way that you're laughing and turning red, I think that you might disagree with this, so let's move on. So it's been about 6 weeks since we got all up in your eardrums with this tech business, and it's not for a lack of wanting to be with you. Joe and I were busy with the 2014 statewide IT conference, which was a 3-day showcase of tech, more tech, and a lot of Legos. And Brendan was busy making money and, as always, being an Indianapolis-style icon. Good for you. But as many of you know, a lot of things went down in the week since episode 11, and we have a lot to talk about. Plus, Ross Wilkerson from the UITS Support Center will give you a lowdown on the retirement of iMail and webmail, and we'll have the sad trombone in IT, which is becoming a, quite sadly, regular occurrence. So, Brendan, we have a laundry list of stuff to cover. You want to start with the iPhone?
Yeah, so when was the last time we were here in August, right?
It was...
That was a while ago.
Was it early September?
That's when the episode came out, but I think the last time I was here was August.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, obviously the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus was announced, so obviously I had to cop that real quick. So actually I just got it last week, so I did wait a little while
What
to get it.
took so long?
It was back ordered for a long time.
Oh, that's right.
And
You weren't up at 3 a.m. in your underwear trying to get the phone?
No. I wanted the 64 gig, but then I was like, well, I had a 64 gig phone, and that was the one I was back ordered like 3 weeks. I just went ahead and got one 28 gigs. So I'm sure I'll put some movies or something on there to fill it up.
As you do.
But I like it, though. I mean, I didn't think that, like, I've had bigger phones before, like when I had a Galaxy phone and whatnot, so I was used to like 5-inch screens and whatnot.
You have the 6, not the 6 Plus?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but like using this from the 5S, though, like it is big. Like, it's a huge difference. I can't text and drive anymore, which I shouldn't be anyway. But it's just hard to use.
I can't break the law anymore and endanger
Yeah.
people, which is a shame.
I'm a pro with that, but let's not talk about that. But it's just I don't know. It's not very different. Like as far as the phone goes, there's not a lot of features that you would have really gained from it. There are some new features in iOS 8 that are nice, but as far as the phone being different in total, I don't think it's that different. Just the biggest screen is probably just the biggest difference. So.
My manager has a 6 Plus, and when she puts it to her face, it looks like she's holding like a detachable keyboard to her whole face.
But everyone had the
It's like she's holding a
Note.
baby. Yeah, but she went from like a Windows phone to this, and so it's really dramatic and really kind of bizarre.
I don't know. I like it, but
it
it isn't different enough to where I would be like, go get it now,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, unless you have like a 4S or something. But like my sister just got a 6 and she had a 4S, but my mom has a 5S, and there's no reason that she should get a 6 at all.
Right.
So, but I don't know. They added NFC, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So what about the new iPads?
They're not that different. They made the iPad Air thinner somehow. Obviously, with more like real estate on the actual device, you can like kind of move some stuff around and make it slimmer. But again, they're not that different. They did add the Touch ID to all the iPads now, so which drove the price up a little bit more, but it isn't up by that much more. Other than that, they're not that different either. But
It's kind of disappointing.
they were just a new Apple device. Oh, they do come in gold now.
That's not enough to make it exciting. That's kind
Well, when
of
the
a bummer.
5S came out, that was like the most popular color, so it obviously would be very popular for the iPads too.
Yeah. So we all need to look a little bougie while we're doing our technology.
Yeah.
So, do you think with the iPhone 6, is it still behind Android devices?
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, obviously, like Apple has such a big name for themselves now that like the second they come out with something new, even though it has been out for years before, like everyone thinks it's just an amazing thing. Like Apple Pay, for instance.
Yeah.
Everyone is going crazy. Oh my God, Apple Pay, I can pay with my phone now. But Google has had Google Wallet for I don't know how long now. And Android phones have had NFC for like 3 years.
Yeah.
2 to 3 years now. So they've been able to do that for the longest time, but no one ever cared about it because it wasn't on Apple device.
It wasn't cool enough. It wasn't
Yeah.
chic enough. So have you seen the new Android commercial?
No.
The whole premise is that with Android, it's called like Be Together, Not the Same, and it has this kind of raucous commercial going on in the background where it has a bunch of completely wild, random people doing really weird but fun things, and it seems to, I don't know, I think it's the best Android commercial I've seen in a while where it kind of creates community and it's kind of fun instead of just going out and bashing the iPhone, which is what Samsung has been doing. So I don't know, let me see if I can find
Remember
it.
back in school
That's not it.
when you either invited the new kid over to your table or you didn't?
But I like the whole like be together, not the same thing. That
No, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Here, I think this is it. So that was loud, and I'm sorry, listeners. But it seems that with something to get some with a commercial like that, I don't know. There's more like we're all different, but we're the same, and we use the same kind of ecosystem, and it's great. And come join us, and we're not just like chic people or nerds or geeks. We're kind of everyone. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with Android is like you said, the whole be together, not the same thing is like you all have Android operating systems, but all of your phones are different because you can customize them so much. But all the iPhones, like they all look the same. We can change our wallpaper and rearrange the apps, and that's it.
Right.
And like that's all you can do on iPhone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my iPhone and everything, but it is boring. Like if I'm not texting someone or looking up something on Facebook, like I'm not using my phone because there's nothing really to do on it. So,
Well, I do a ton of stuff on my phone, and I don't do a lot of complex things. Like I finally did the Android thing, and I rooted my phone, and I did some other stuff. But it's actually kind of fun, oddly. And it caters to my OCD nature, so I can have a background that has nothing on it. It is clean, it is easy to look at. I don't have a bunch of tiles or a bunch of icons stressing me out, which is what you get on an iPhone. Like, I remember when I got my iPad, I tried to, bump all the icons and all the folders to a different screen, and it would just open on that screen instead.
yeah.
Like a massive screw you.
You'd have at least
you
one.
have to look at these.
Yeah.
It was really just kind of bothersome. Like, with Android, it's simple and it's stupid, but I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, one thing that Apple does, as we mentioned before, was Apple Pay. So Google Wallet has turned out to be a bit of a loser.
Well, it just kind of disappeared because it didn't catch on. But
Yeah.
now that all of a sudden, like I said before, Apple has mobile payments, it's all of a sudden a new thing and everyone has to get on board for it, even though it's been out there for a while now. But what's happening is that a lot of retailers are actually blocking Apple Pay, like big dogs like Walmart, CVS.
I saw that with Walgreens also.
Yeah, Best Buy is also blocking it because I guess they're all working together to come up with their own form of mobile payments called Currency. And basically what it does is it cuts out the middleman. So it just basically charges your bank account or your debit card or whatever for whatever you're paying for. That way they don't have to pay the credit card fees to like Visa, MasterCard, and American Express and stuff. So but they're blocking that's why they're blocking all of that. But yeah, Apple has partnered with all of the big credit card companies, Visa, MasterCard, so to be able to do the mobile payment. So it's like two just ends of the spectrum. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but obviously not everyone's catching on with Apple Pay. You can use it at Panera. I know that for sure. And Starbucks in the future, but not yet. But I don't know. But even when it first came out, which was on Monday of last week, Bank of America customers who were using it all got double charged for everything. So say you made $1,000 purchase with your Apple Pay, well, all of a sudden $2,000 is missing out of your account because you just used
That
Apple
would
Pay
be
and there was
devastating.
So I don't know if that was a fix that needs to be happening on Apple's part or Bank of America's part, but I don't have Bank of America anyway, so it doesn't really concern me. And then other than that, they added NFC to the phone just to use Apple Pay. Like you can't do anything else with NFC, and there's so many other benefits to it.
That's
yeah.
it's almost rude, really.
It's just another slap in the face. Like I want you to do this, and this is all you can do with it. Like you could, a lot of Bluetooth headsets, for instance, have NFC built into them, so you can just set them on top of your phone and it pairs to it automatically. There's other stuff that uses NFC too, but you can't do any of that on the iPhone because Apple has locked NFC specifically for Apple Pay, and that's it. And not every bank supports it. I think Chase supports it now, Bank of America, and then Citi cards and I think that's it for that I know of right now.
I wonder if it can catch on. It seems like when smartphones came around, except for you, Joe, who I know you have like a phone from the 90s.
That's true.
Generally, what really brought people along was the peer pressure of not having the smartphone. Like, you're still using that phone, you know what I mean? And people caught up, and we all got smartphones, and a lot of us got iPhones. But with Apple Pay, I would think that if I'm in a line and 10 people in front of me like drop their Apple Pay if they can, if that's what's permitted at that retailer, and then I'm pulling out my purse and my wallet and I'm fumbling and I've got change everywhere and I'm trying to swipe my credit card or something, is that the kind of experience that people want to stop having? Do they want to like, is there some sort of like collective peer pressure where they start to adapt?
I don't know. I
Where
just feel
they
like a
would
lot
maybe
of people,
adopt or try to get on board with Apple Pay just to avoid those kinds of social situations?
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people will be skeptical about it, though. Like, obviously, Apple promised that everything would be secure and your credit card number is never used. It's just like a digital number that's sent or whatever. But like when a lot of the cards came out with the RFID chips in them to just be able to do PayPass, and no one used that because everyone had a big deal about it and thought their phones, like their card numbers, were going to get stolen. And then there was a market for wallets that blocked like NFC card readers or RFID card readers. But so I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of people will still be skeptical about it.
Well, I mean, you even see it with e-tickets. Like you can go to the airport with your ticket on your phone
I do
and
that all the
flash
time.
your phone.
Yeah.
But most people don't do that. They've still got something printed. Even if they got an e-ticket, they print it out.
Well, when you check in, it automatically prints a ticket out anyway. But every time I go to the airport, I just use my phone to do it.
I do now, but I'm usually in a line of people who still have that printed out thing that they're running over under the scanner or whatever, and I'm the lone wolf with the phone.
Well, like it's easier. Like on my phone, for instance, when I open a ticket, it puts it in the passbook. So like every time I'm at the airport and my flight's coming up, it automatically shows up on my home screen. So I just swipe and it pops up. But like if you don't have like an iPhone or don't have like a passbook type thing, your ticket you have to like pull up from your email or like go to a website to pull it up, and that maybe it's just inconvenient for some other people. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Apple Pay, I just don't think that it'll really do as well. But Apple obviously saw it as a way to capitalize on people paying for stuff because the cell phone or the credit card companies were going to pay Apple like a percentage of all the sales off of their credit card fees. So, in other light, Super Smash Brothers is coming out soon. Obviously, the best game ever.
I have not played that game since my GameCube.
It's still the GameCube was like probably the best version, but somehow they like redid it for the Wii U, which comes out I think in December. But it's like a whole year delay because it's supposed to come out last December. But I don't really know what's different. I just know there's a lot more people on it, and you can play up to 8 players. And Super Smash Brothers is one of those games that it's not fun playing by yourself. You have to have like multiple people playing it. So like I have 3 brothers, and so obviously we had a Nintendo 64, and we're all 4 playing each other on there. So it was fun for us at that age. But like now I just bought the version for the 3DS, and it's just completely like underwhelming. Like I tried playing it for 10 minutes, and it's just so boring by yourself. And you're supposed to be able to play it online with like other people and stuff. So I wanted to play like these little Japanese kids and Chinese kids playing it.
But
But
we were just trying to avoid
Those
that.
kids will beat you to death.
I know on Mario Kart they do not play games.
And they will disrespect you verbally.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think they can talk to us on there. But like on Mario Kart, they are just not having it. They win every time. But on Super Smash Bros., like I tried to play it online and like it wouldn't work. It kept giving me an error saying I needed to update, or this version of the gameplay was not allowed on my device. But I have a 3DS XL. Like, what other device could I have?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I thought it was gonna be a great game, but it's just boring by yourself. So.
Oh, that's disappointing. I kind of miss my GameCube sometimes. I had 3 of them. There was something in there that kept melting, and I kept having to send it to Nintendo, and they would fix it and send it back. It was like the sad cycle I was in with them.
That's
But I mean,
weird.
they were helpful. It wasn't like the customer service was bad.
Yeah.
But there was some weird wire in there that would melt and then disconnect, and then I couldn't play.
That's strange.
It's technology for you. I traded that in for a 360, so it's long gone. But anyway, one thing I wanted to hop to before we move on to Ross, how do you feel about artificial intelligence?
I think it depends on like what type. Like I like the whole connected home and
Yeah.
like home automation and stuff like that.
Right.
But
So Elon Musk, who is the chief of Tesla and like all around technology, awesome future guy, has said that with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. And it is the biggest existential threat there is. What do you think?
How can you say that when the Tesla's whole console is digital? It's like a big tablet in there. There's no buttons anywhere. It's all virtual.
If he wouldn't have said like the biggest existential threat, I think it's the use of the word existential that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would say, oh, he's just saying, you know, you're opening Pandora's box.
Well, he's helping.
Right. Oh, yeah, he totally
Yeah.
is.
But I don't know. Like, there's obviously been movies where like everything's automated, like iRobot, and what was that movie with Matt Damon recently? Was it Matt Damon?
Was it Johnny Depp?
Maybe it wasn't Matt Damon.
Johnny Depp was in, I don't remember what it was called.
Transcendence. Or
Transcendence.
It was the one
yeah,
where like
where
there
he
was
uploads
a separate, there was a
himself.
like a separate world that was like orbiting across.
Oh,
Earth.
Elysium.
Yes. Who was in that?
Jodie Foster.
But who was the guy?
Matt Damon.
Okay, yeah.
But that wasn't as much
That
about
wasn't AI. It was also terrible.
But they had robots and stuff in there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They had kind of like a robot police force,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Oh, they did. Yeah, similar to iRobot.
Yeah.
I'd be more worried about Terminator.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking more of a Terminator type of thing where Skynet is.
But as expensive as like automation is and like robots and stuff like that to make, like you're not gonna see an army of robots coming after anyone anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, but maybe down the line.
Well,
That's what they did in Terminator.
but
They had
it
a
could- but it
whole
could-
army of
And then
them.
they send him back through time,
That's
Brendan.
right.
But then it could be better than like sending troops over like to another country to fight and stuff.
Sure, until those things turn on us. I feel like you've not seen any of the key movies.
Yeah, but they're like the robots are not gonna think for themselves and just.
Well, that's what artificial intelligence is.
That's like saying our computers should do whatever they want to, and they don't unless they get a virus. So.
I'm
As
gonna
far as I'm
schedule a
controlled-
movie night sometime.
As far as I'm concerned, technology is under our control right now.
right
so
now,
I don't see it
until we do
changing.
something crazy. I think you agree with me, Joe.
I do agree.
I think we're on I think Pandora's box is opening slowly, but surely. And I think we might be in a jam. I have a friend who, and he said this to me more than once, like he courts AI. He wants AI. He wants to, and this is the most bizarre thing, I think, it's one of those things that makes me question whether we should be friends. He said that he wants to download his consciousness into AI and he can just live forever.
Wasn't there a movie like that where you could,
But he's serious. He's like, everything will be fine when we can all just download into AI and be done with all of this.
you remember that movie
Yeah,
where,
I don't think so.
Who was in it? It was some guy. He was like old. Who's the bald guy? Bruce Willis. Was it him in it? And
Yeah.
you sat in a chair and you like lived. A
Oh,
whole
it was
life through-
Surrogates.
Yeah, Surrogates. Yeah, but isn't that kind of like that?
Yeah, but I think he doesn't even want to have to like pull out of the system and be Bruce Willis, who's sad and decrepit in his house. He just now exists in AI.
Something like on Futurama,
Yeah.
where they had like the floating brains in the water. and
Yeah,
it was-
it's really messed up. And I haven't known how to have a conversation with him in some many months because of this.
Just tell him to watch Transcendence starring Johnny Depp.
I don't know. I don't think artificial intelligence is that bad, but like the movie Her, for instance, they had the artificial intelligent operating systems
Yeah.
that could like talk to you and like. But she ended up having like a relationship with him and like all that stuff.
Well, yeah,
but-
and then she was manipulating him, and then she ran off with another OS. That is going down the path to
it
problems.
was multiple, not just him. So
That's disturbing.
yeah,
Okay,
I don't know. We'll see how it progresses over time.
I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Any other thoughts about summoning the demon?
I treat all the movies about AI as if they are future documentaries. So
I do as well. You need to, Brendan. You need
Ending
to stop
in the
thinking so
movie.
like presently what?
ending in the movie AI. Do you guys remember that
that's
movie?
right. Wasn't he alone? Like in a kind of a frozen over world?
Yeah, it was essentially I don't even know I didn't really prepare for it, but the child essentially is an artificial intelligent surrogate child
Yeah.
for a mother who lost her child, and then instead of when she was kind of freaked out by the child, instead of turning it over to have it turned off, she like released it into the wild.
Yeah, like she abandoned it and he's just roaming the earth and he
What
runs
movie
into
is this?
It's called AI.
Oh.
And he runs into Jude Law, who's a fellow of the streets called Gigolo Joe. And Gigolo Joe tries to like guide him and be helpful, but it's
Right.
a general mess.
The
and
seedy underworld
Yeah.
of wandering AI.
yeah, but he keeps wondering, and eventually, like, Manhattan is flooded. I think the world is overcome by Mother Nature, and he's just kind of alone somewhere in a.
Well, his true purpose that he was created for was essentially to be imprinted by his the mother that bought him, essentially. Or the husband bought it for the mom, but that's another story. So eventually she dies because the AI robot can live forever. And so he essentially has no purpose. So he just remains.
But does he get older? Or does he just
No,
get
He's just a
the
little
same.
boy. He's that
He's
kid
Haley
from.
Joel Osment
Right.
forever.
Yeah.
The kid from The Sixth Sense, he's like 9 years old forever.
But then essentially, the future of the movie ends up thousands of years later, perhaps. Yeah, that the new, life form that exists, the intelligent life form, are evolved AI, our own creations,
Was it?
and they treat humans. That's why I treat all this stuff as future
Oh.
documentaries.
Well, I think we need to wrap this up and go on with Just the Tip with Ross Wilkerson.
Thanks, Janae. Today's tip concerns something we'll probably all have to do at some point: email migration. There are plenty of reasons you might want to do this. Maybe you're losing access because of a job switch or want to leave Hotmail for something more professional. If you are using IU Webmail or iMail right now, you are hopefully already aware that these are both being retired. Webmail is out on February 2nd. iMail's date is not announced, but we promise you at least 6 months' notice. Regardless of why, this is actually a simple process to get through. To start, we need Outlook from the Microsoft Office suite. I'll give instructions for Outlook 2013, but most mail clients have a similar process. At IU, you can download Office from IUware, purchase a disk at the bookstore, or use it without installing at IU Anywhere. So, in Outlook, set up both your old email account and your new account. You might need to search Google or the knowledge base for instructions on this. But once that's done, you have the option to take an easy way out. If you have just a few messages or folders to move, you can simply drag and drop in that list of folders over on the left. A warning for anybody using something other than Outlook 2013 or 2010, this may screw up the date and timestamps on messages that you move in some other mail clients. If you didn't take the easy way out, we will create a backup of that old account and then import that backup into the new account. The options for both start at the File menu at the top left. So click Export twice, pick Export to a file, pick Outlook data file, and then select the various data you want to export. You can also pick things like your calendar and contacts list here. Keep clicking Next, and eventually you'll end up with a PST file saved somewhere on your computer. Head back to that same File menu, and this time, instead of Export to File, you'll pick Import from another program or file. Should be just a few self-explanatory prompts from there, but please be patient as these files are created and imported. They can be very, very big depending on how you've used that email account. For those leaving webmail or iMail, this would be a fantastic time to check your forwarding settings at itaccounts.iu.edu. I'd also encourage everyone to migrate early so you have plenty of time to get through the process and ensure everything was moved successfully. As always, please contact the support center if things aren't working out. We can do a screen sharing session and walk you through this whole process. It's ithelplive.iu.edu. Good luck out there.
As is quickly becoming a Talk Nerdy tradition, we're going to close this episode with a sad trombone in IT. Actually, the first is the Amazon Fire Phone, which has gone from $199 to $1 with a 2-year AT&T contract. That's pretty woeful.
Which Amazon hyped it up so much, and I guess they thought it was going to be the best phone ever, which is why they thought they can charge a premium price for it. But they don't charge premium prices for the Kindle or anything else Amazon, so I don't know why they thought they can get away with it with this. But they only sold 35,000 phones year to date.
And they have $83 million of unsold Fire phones on the shelves.
And a huge net loss this quarter.
Yeah.
But they also did buy a couple of companies. I don't know which companies for sure, but they used all the money buying the companies, and they went ahead and used all this money to make this phone that no one bought. And so now they just have $500 million plus in a net loss.
Yeah, it was like a 500 million loss, including like 170 million on inventory commitments. Like it's just kind of a massive disaster, but I don't think they care. They don't care.
I don't think so. I mean, like obviously people still use Amazon
Yeah.
like faithfully, and their Fire TV is actually doing a lot better than the phone. And then today I saw they just came out with the like a Fire TV stick trying
Yeah.
to combat what is it, Roku stick?
Roku and Chromecast, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
$20 until Wednesday, which doesn't help anybody who's listening to this. But since it's Monday, but after that, it's still only like $39.
Which like Google's is the same. Google's is 35, Roku's is like 50, I think. But I would think the Fire TV like stick would be better than Google. What is it called?
Chromecast.
I don't like Chromecast because you have to use your phone to like project things to your screen. I think that's annoying.
Yeah.
I think it should have its own like system on it, kind of like the Roku one does. And so I'm assuming that the Fire TV stick will have to just be the same way.
I think it is.
So
I think it is. But that Fire phone, like the only thing awesome about the Fire phone were the headphones that came with it, and Amazon sold those for a while for $10. I got a pair.
they
But
were
it-
sold out like the same day when they dropped to $10. But
Yeah.
I didn't get a pair, unfortunately.
They're a great pair. They have little magnets on the end so they can snap together. They have that non-tangle cord. I love them. I love my Fire headphones for $10.
The ones you didn't almost get.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just so sad when the headphones that come with the phone are more expensive than the phone. But what are you gonna do? I actually thought when when the campaign came out about the Fire phone that it was something they were targeting towards people with children because they had those kids in the commercials, and it was like I'm watching, I don't know, whatever kids watch. What do they watch? Cartoons of some variety? I don't know.
I think one of them were watching the Hunger Games.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. I actually like the Hunger Games, so I guess that doesn't count. But still, it seemed like the kind of phone that you got your kid to keep them occupied instead of giving them maybe an iPad or something else.
Well, like,
And then that was not the case.
I don't know. Well, like, you know how Amazon's like version of Android is like extremely stripped down. You can't really do anything on it besides like, well, I guess now they finally
Which would
added
make it
the-
great for kids.
Exactly, and like older people, but they finally now added a full like Android app store to it. But it's just like there's already two major ecosystems for smartphones, so you can't really try to get your foot in there.
Yeah.
Like Mozilla software didn't go anywhere. Samsung's Tizen didn't go anywhere. So all you really have is like iOS, Android, and then Windows Phone is trying to work its way up, but it's still struggling too. So I think it was just a wrong move for them to try to throw that in there,
Yeah.
especially trying to charge $200 for the phone. No one's
Oh,
gonna
for
pay
sure.
that.
For sure. It was just massive ignorance.
Yeah.
Arrogance, not ignorance, but I guess maybe a little ignorance as well. The Satter Trombone and IT actually was a company called Electronics for Imaging. They're in the Bay Area. They got caught paying their workers who were from India that they personally flew in $1.21 an hour, which they thought was okay because that's what they would have paid them back in India. They were working 120 hours a week. And they were fined like $3,500.
It was only like 8 of them, not saying that's any better.
That's not better.
But they're probably just testing it out to see what they can get away with. But they got
Right.
caught, basically. And so they had to go back and pay all of the workers $40,000 for like what they would have made, I guess. They've only been in the country for like 3 weeks, I think. So,
That's too many. They're working 120 plus hours
yeah.
for 3 weeks.
Yeah. It's they
And
thought
the
they were going to get
company-
away with it. So the Department of Labor got them, and then they only fined them like $3,500.
That's so disgusting. I think the best thing I read was that the company said they, quote, unintentionally overlooked the laws requiring foreign workers to be paid at least minimum wage
Yeah.
with overtime. How convenient for you. Whoops.
They must have thought because they weren't citizens, they weren't required to pay them. But that's like we have a lot of immigrants here, a lot of Hispanics that come here, and they all get paid normally, obviously.
Of
'cause
course
that's the right
they
thing to
do. That's what you do. Those are the laws. You don't ship people here and then pay them rupees and then send them home. That's not how this works.
I don't know what they were thinking. Like, if that was the case, you could have just.
They were
like,
thinking about money.
But they're a multi-billion-dollar, multinational, or multi-million. maybe.
They're a million. They made like
Yeah.
109 million last
Yeah.
year.
But they're
their CEO
multinational too.
Yeah.
So like,
Their CEO made $6 million. They give these people $1.21 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's some spectacular nerve. In fact, it's such nerve that I'm almost impressed.
Is their CEO American?
Yeah, his name is Guy. Guy Gecht. Gecht.
That doesn't sound American.
What kind of person is named Guy?
Maybe it's Guy.
He could be Guy, he could be French, but I feel like this is just Guy from Kentucky who made it, and now he's...
I don't know. Maybe they did it as like a way to like get some press, but I had never seen them or heard of them until this article.
What do they do? Do you know?
They're like a printing company. They make printers and they make printing software.
These poor people.
Yeah.
This is awful. And now I'm sure they're all back in Bangalore making $1.21 an hour.
Yeah.
As they were supposed to.
After they got their 40 grand first. So.
Yeah. Great. They were making less than $1.21. It takes $1.25 to get a Coke out of the machine down the hall. I just want to put that into perspective for you, Joe.
Understood. I was about to say a swear word, which I knew would probably be inappropriate.
That would be inappropriate for the show because this is a G-rated program.
It was almost involuntary, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's what the editing features are for. That's why you're our sound man, because
That's
you
right.
can remove that kind of stuff.
Sound boss.
Sound boss, Joe Stone. So anyway, kids, anything else to say about these wretched persons?
No.
If anyone is the demon, it is these people. It is electronics for imaging.
Humans.
It's not AI.
Maybe Guy is artificial
He
intelligence.
might be artificial.
This is the demon.
He
that
could be an
Elon-
android.
From the
His name's
future.
probably Guy, where you guys call him Guy.
It's like Target when you call it Target. We're trying to give Guy a little class. Since he's not willing to show any, we're going to give him just a little. So before we truly wrap things up, we'd like to give a shout out to our new friend, Deshant Shrikandi, and 10 lashes to me if I mispronounce that, good sir. He reached out to us during our statewide break with a desire to get involved. Deshant is an IUPUI student who describes himself on Twitter as a rant-prone individual learning to design delightful user experiences. He also blogs his rants at shreviews.in, and we're not sure how we're going to work him into the podcast just yet, but I see a rant segment being right in his wheelhouse. What'd you say, Joe?
He sounds like a loose cannon.
And we need more of those. So as for the rest of you, I bring episode 12 of Talk Nerdy to Me to a close. If you have any questions, feedbacks, want to say hi, or even better, want to play along in our recorded reindeer games, you can reach out to us online at talknerdy.iu.edu, on Twitter at talknerdyiu, and via email at nerdy@iu.edu. On behalf of Brendan, Ross, and Joe, this is Janae Cummings. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again in early December.
Say goodbye. The first thing is to die a little. You have this.
This has been an official production of the IT Communications Office. Copyright 2014, the Trustees of Indiana University.